Are you tired of having to make 2 squares to make a hot pad? Me too. Today we're going to learn the thermal stitch. Where has this stitch been my entire crochet career? I just discovered this and it blew my mind. I love it. Okay, so let's kind of get a close-up of it. This is a glorified single crochet. That's all it is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You can see the little single crochet, the little man with the 2 legs. Now we're going to learn how to do it. All right, I'm going to do what I always do. We're going to talk theory before we actually get into practice. Okay, the thermal stitch. Super easy stitch. It's just a single crochet. It's just got an extra little twist in it. Now, the biggest thing about it, all right, let's just say this is your starting chain, okay? And that's how it's going to look when you're looking at it from the top. You're going to work into the back loops only, okay? That's the trick. Now, the next trick is you're also going to be working into the back loop of the previous row. And when you do that, it makes a double thickness. So let's just say this is the unworked loops on your previous row, okay? And we're going to say this is the top of your work. You know how you look down and there's a front loop and a back loop. So when you put your hook in, you're going through here and there. See? So it's the row you just completed and then the previous row. I hope that makes sense. Back loop only, previous row. Back loop only, previous row. And what you're going to do, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop and pull through 2 loops twice, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean when we start practicing. Now, one of the biggest problems that I came across when I'm working this stitch is, let's go down here. It's very, very easy when you turn your work to accidentally work into a stitch you've already worked into. It gets kind of jumbled up with the yarn, and this is the mistake. This is what I see happen. So I'll work through back loop only and then the unworked loop on the previous round, but then when I go to do my next stitch, I'll accidentally go back through that same loop. So just always be careful that you're working into the accurate loop, or you're going to have too many stitches on your row at the end of your work, and that's never a good thing. I have chained 16 with my giant yarn so you can see it better. I'm going to try to zoom in on it as well. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to work through the back loop only of our starting chain, which is usually what you do anyway. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through again. All right, 1 single crochet. Let's try that again. Going to pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. There you go. Okay, let's keep going just a few more, so if there's any beginners, they'll be able to see. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Okay, now we have 3. I'm going to complete this row of single crochet and come back. So I have completed my row of single crochet, and there are 15 on here. You can make it any width you want. We're just practicing right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 on the end. That just means you pull up a loop, okay? And then we're going to turn it this way, just like you're turning a page in a book. Just flip like that. Now, this is the back of our work, but I want you to notice something. On this side, there's a ridge. Why? Because we skipped those front loops. Remember? That's really important in being able to work the thermal stitch. Now what we're going to do, sometimes you can hold it like this to get it started instead of going side to side. Whatever works for you. Really important. I'm looking at the side I'm going to be working into. Make sure you go into the first unworked loop. That can be kind of confusing sometimes, and it took me several tries before I went into the correct loop. That's okay. When you're learning, you mess up, you do things, that's fine. That's how you learn, to go back and fix it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to skip this turning chain here, and we're going into that back loop of that first single crochet. And we're going to go through that unworked loop on the first row. See how that worked? Let's do that again. Okay, so we did our turning chain. We're going into the back loop of that first single crochet and the first unworked loop on the first row. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to yarn over your hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops. Hoops, where'd that come from? Look at there. So what you're doing, you're making a double thickness as you work because you're kind of working over the row you already worked, if that makes sense. Let's do the next one. Okay, let's look at this really closely because sometimes it can get confusing as to where you're going to work into. All right, you see the yarn thread, the working yarn here? Okay, we've already worked through this loop, so when we put our hook through the next one, it's going to be there. And then make sure you're not going to go back into the same loop that you worked at the beginning. That's hard to do. It might look like you're skipping a stitch, but that's how it's going to look. That got me really messed up when I was trying to do this. So there we go. I have completed the first row. And guess what? I had to go back and unravel it because I had an extra stitch. Let me tell you a hint. Always, 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 I don't care how aggravating it is, when you complete a row, always count to make sure that you ended with the same amount that you began with. It will save you a lot of grief in the future. I'll make a short about an easy way to do that on a large project. Anyway, now we're going to go to the next row. All right, we're going to do another row, and then I might do a few rows, and then I'll show you how you have to finish this off because it's a little bit different, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me put my yarn over here. Okay, so same thing. Stay in frame. All right, we're going to chain 1. Turn it like you turn in a book page, just like that. Now, we're looking at the back. And if you look, there's a ridge. See that ridge right here? That's those unworked loops on the previous row. And the whole work might curl up as you work, but the longer it gets, the more it will lay flat. I just love this stitch. It's so versatile. Okay, now we did our chain 1. We're going to go through the back loop of that first single crochet and the first unworked loop on the previous row. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, pull up enough so you're not working too tight, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. Stitch completed. Yay! All right, let's go to the next one. I see I just worked into this one, so I'm going into this. Sometimes it looks like you're skipping a stitch, but you're not. It's just the way it works up. Make sure you're going into the correct skipped loop. All right, we have 3. Yarn over, pull through 2. Nice and loose. Yarn over and pull through those 2. See, I know you can get it. Let's try one more. Next unworked loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. Okay. See how that's working out? Okay, I'm going to work a couple more rows and then I'll come back and show you how to finish it off. All right, that's what I have after a few rows. Look at that beautiful stitch. I just love it. Let's look at the other side. And it's double thick because you're literally working 2 rows at a time. Okay, now let me show you how to finish it off. It's real easy. It's just you do it just slightly different way. We're going to chain 1, turn it over. Now instead of working through the back loop, you're working through both loops. Otherwise you're going to have that ugly ridge still left on the back and it's going to look unfinished. So we're going to go through both loops like that and that unworked loop on the previous row. See that? So now you'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, draw through 2 loops only. I'm sorry, 3 loops, and then yarn over and do the last 2. Let's do that again. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to work through both loops of that next loop, stitch like that, and the next unworked loop on that previous row. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Okay, one more time. Work through both loops on the next stitch, the unworked loop on the previous row, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. I'm going to finish that and come back and show you what it looks like. So that is how it looks when it's finished off correctly. Let's look at the back. See? You don't have any lost stitches just hanging out there on a ridge that you didn't work. That's why you work through the 2 loops on your stitch and the unworked loop on the previous round. And that's what you do, and you just finish it off. I didn't do that because I'm going to use this yarn again. But that is the thermal stitch. And there you go.